like that Van Halen song, I don't feel tardy. So we are here and we are live. Jim has had all sorts of technical issues and all sorts of adventures this morning, Mr. Stu.
That's fun.
I had to get my technical stuff done. I had to move 2 1-ton trees all by myself off of my pier. I had to float them over up the shore. I was out in the water,
Wow.
cold water right now in my waders, pushing the things away from the pier so they wouldn't bang them all up when the storm comes through. I mean, I've been going. That was my mobility day.
That is some effort there. That's good stuff.
It was interesting. So we're almost to the red helmet milestone.
Yes, 180. Funny we're at 180 today for the podcast. Is that was my actual beginning class I started with.
Really?
I went through Hell Week with 180, and then I got injured in third phase like 6 weeks before graduation, and I was rolled into 182.
Did you have to do the whole thing all over again, or just third phase?
No, just some land warfare or land nav phase. Had to redo that again, but that was nothing.
Okay.
That was like 2 weeks extra.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I didn't have to go through the whole thing again. But anyway, yeah. So 180 has a special meeting as well.
Nice. Okay. Well, the funny thing is we're going to hit 182 if we do the week of Thanksgiving. We're going to hit 182 the day before Thanksgiving. It's kind of cool.
Is that right? Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Did you ever think we'd hit 182 podcast episodes?
We are moving. We have been consistent, if nothing else.
There you go. What's up, Leslie? What's up, Jorge?
Consistency wins.
That is true. Consistency will definitely win the day, positively or negatively. Because if you consistently don't do the things you're supposed to do, you will consistently get the results. You're always going to get results, Stu. You're always going to get results consistently. But most people consistently get results they don't want because they consistently don't do what they should do, or they consistently do things that don't work.
That is true.
What's up, Rhonda? What's up, Arlene?
Very true.
C-Ray's here. Sonny's here. Sonny's got a new book coming out. It's actually a pretty cool book. I got a little preview of a part of it. She teaches people how to use live streaming to sell their physical products, which is actually really cool. So maybe when she gets her book done, we'll have her on and she can tell us all about her methods. That's fun.
Good. How many times a week do you live stream?
Well, I live stream with you to the public or just at all. Like how many? I'm not being a smart aleck. I go live a whole bunch. When you say live stream, are you talking about live streaming to the world with the intention of drawing attention to myself?
Yes.
I would say at least twice a week.
Okay, cool.
It used to be a lot more. It used to be a lot more, but now it's a couple times a week. Once with you, and then once with some other stuff. Though we are going to be starting a new thing next week where we're going to start doing a show 2 to 3 weeks a month, where our intention is to teach and sell. And we're going to be teaching and selling specifically for content marketing scripts. So we're going to come on, we're going to teach something, and then we're going to show you the easy button. And once you see the thing that you want to do, and then you see what a pain in the ass it is to do it manually, and then I show you the easy button from content marketing scripts, you're going to go, okay, time to sign up. So we're going to start doing those. Mark your calendar. They'll be Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Eastern. So
nice.
right before my lunch.
So what? I personally.
What?
Not the first one. The first
but
one.
But not the first one. The first one will be at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. No, different time?
No, 2 o'clock on Tuesdays. Yes, that's why I'm giving you the look.
We're going to start doing a show at various times. We'll give people a good heads up. and make sure people know the time, though the intention is ultimately for the regular show schedule to settle somewhere between 1 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night. Somewhere in there it will land.
But you won't be up at 11 o'clock at night. 1 in the morning is more feasible.
So anyway, I love the reaction of like, what? And you're right, I messed up. The first one's going to be at first one will be at 2, and then the following week I think it's at 11. So we're going to try and do it at 11. Okay, thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Susan does the where is Jim? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. She does the where will Jim be this week thing. So she
that's true. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely need to get her that information.
So, and then you and I are going to be starting a new show next week as well inside of Content Marketing Scripts in the elite level, where we're going to be starting our new monthly series called Turn Content into Traffic. So we're going to show you how to use content to get eyeballs to your website, real specific tactical stuff, what's working in our own businesses and whatnot. So lots going on. I go live a lot.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious because I go live with obviously this one, but then I do 2 others that I turn into a live Q&A, which really are a great source of additional content later.
Mm-hmm.
In the form of like today I wrote an Ask Stu answer article where I answered a question that I received yesterday, on the live stream, and just sold it to military.com. So
nice.
It all works.
Well, I just want to point out, this is Arlene's first time here with us. So welcome, Arlene. Glad you're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Vicky's here. So, I was going to tell you something about, dang, I lost my train of thought. I messed it up. Do you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I might, no, I don't have it. I do have a cool video that I could show you that no one's seen. Would you like to see it real quick?
I think so.
Okay.
And then we can talk about what we were going to talk about on the Jim and Stu show.
Okay. So.
And then do the podcast.
All right. Well, today is the 9th, right? So yes. I want to share with you the next video of all the, we released yesterday inside of Content Marketing Scripts. I think we released 12 new genies. Don't know if you had a chance to check those out, Mr. Stu.
I have not, but I need to this week.
We have we have a video that we had made to promote one of them. That's pretty cool that I wanted to share with you.
Oh.
So let me pull this bad boy up.
Is it made by the same person who?
Oh yeah.
Made the genie announcement.
Yeah. This is my boy.
When the wizard made the genie.
Yep. You ready?
Genius.
Let me start that
over. There's Jim. Damn.
So there you go. That's the video for the email subject line genie, which is amazing.
That is really cool.
So yeah, that's neat, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, if y'all like that, that's kind of cool. So we're just trying to make things fun. So, all right, what do you want to talk about?
So, Jim and Stu Show, I wanted to define by the term that you wanted to call what we are going to be doing in the next few weeks, turning content into traffic. Right? What exactly are we going to be doing? Okay. Let's talk about the upcoming projects and give folks a taste of content marketing scripts, and then we can segue into the podcast of that is a similar topic as well, and where to get started.
Okay, so let me get my y'all would not believe the morning I had as far as technology and stuff. So the fact that I am here live with you should just make you excited, because I know it does me. And so let me get my stuffs going. One of the things that people may or may not know is 20 years ago, I wrote a book called Turn Words into Traffic. And it was how to use content to get traffic to your website. Specifically, it was article marketing and newsletter marketing and things like that. And so over the years, there have been other ways to create and distribute content, but there are principles that don't change. All right. And the principles are that content, whether it's on your blog, whether it's in a video, whether it's in email, can all be used to drive eyeballs to look at your stuff. Okay. So whether it's your sales page, your opt-in page, your blog, whatever it is, your offer, your funnel, any of that good stuff. Ultimately, you're going to use text, you're going to use video, you're going to use email. You can also use audio. Look at my little guy with the headphones and stuff to represent audio. All right. Now, instead of just basically trying to get people to post articles on their websites or put you in their newsletter, there's a whole world of using content strategically to funnel the right people to whatever it is you want them to hit. And so we're going to show you specific ways to use social media, to use email, to use blogs, to use webinars, to use podcasts, to use all sorts of other things to drive those eyeballs where you want them to go. And there are very specific patterns that work, and there are other patterns that work even better. So we're going to teach you the patterns that work really well, and specifically focusing on what's working right now. Because, Stu, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How much traffic are you getting from, I don't know, altavista.com?
I don't know.
That's much. Like before the turn of the century stuff.
Right, yeah. Like, what is it, Netscape?
Yeah, I mean, you know, how many Netscape browser people are showing up? I mean, it's not what was working 20 years ago, 10 years ago. You know, the stuff that was working on Facebook even 2-3 years ago isn't really what's working now.
Yeah.
It used to be 2-3 years ago, as soon as you went live on Facebook, everybody and their brother was getting pushed to you. And that's not the case now. So that's what the whole show is going to be about. Because content is what makes the world go round. Content's what makes the internet go round. It's the content is currency.
Ooh, all
right?
I like that.
Content is currency when it comes to driving eyeballs to your website. So we're going to show you how to do that. And again, emphasizing the stuff that we're doing. Stu is very social media intensive.
Actually,
also,
Jim.
Oh, snap. Yes.
I just happened to scroll down to some of my analytics here because if you're not assessing, you're only guessing.
True. And
right?
You can't improve what you don't measure.
My number one referral name is Google, then Instagram, YouTube, and Bing.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, DuckDuckGo. What the hell is that?
It's the alternative to Google that all the election deniers use.
So I'm there too then. So yeah, Google's by far is like 4 times better than Instagram.
Right. And one of the reasons why is because you've been publishing consistently for the last however many years. And you've been chasing by hook or by crook, on purpose or by accident, all sorts of long tail keywords and specific things. Plus you have links from authority sites like military.com. And you got your podcast and other stuff like that. So, but you're also doing things on social media and other stuff. And you've been building your list. So
it's pretty good. Anyway. It tells me, and like I use my Shopify store, and just a real quick, easy scroll down the homepage. I found 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 20 different sources of where I get traffic.
Okay.
Which is pretty useful.
Yeah. So one of the things that we would talk about on the Turn Content into Traffic show that will be live for the elite level on Content Marketing Scripts is to talk about strategies like, hey, Stu, if you know where the top referrers are, could you not, depending on who it was, you could go to them and see if you could improve your positioning wherever they're doing that. So like Google's going to tell you go to hell. They're not going to talk to you. But, like military.com, if you showed them how much, how valuable you were to them, you might be able to get them to, hell, what you got a relationship with them. I'd be trying to buy ads on the site. I'd see, or get them to promote your column on the site for free. Like, hey, we're really getting a lot of traffic to this. People are digging this. We want to increase. Now, listen to these words. We want to increase engagement because the longer we keep them on the site, the better. Is there any way we could internally promote some of these links to the peeps so that they stick around longer? That'd be the tack that I would take.
Good one. I like that. Right.
Because it's all about keeping those eyeballs.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea.
Plus, they may not even know.
No, they do. They actually tell me that.
Okay.
One of the reasons why they hire me for my writing style, I guess, because sometimes I have to train these new editors. I said, this is the way I write.
Right.
Make it sound however you want to, but that's your job. But
right.
then, they tell me that. It's one of their number one engagements on their entire website. So
it's always easier to improve something that's working than it is to make a dead duck quack. So if you take the tack of, hey, how could we get even better results here, and start giving them suggestions, you give them 10 suggestions and they might implement one of them.
Yeah, I'm on that. That's a good one.
So anyway, that's what in case you were wondering, Stu, that's what we'll be doing.
Well, there's something new I'd like to make an announcement to, Jim, especially since you put audio over there with the headphones, is that you can now find this podcast as well as my podcast on Audible, which is a very common platform for podcasting. Well, not podcasting, but ebooks and audio.
People listen to audiobooks on Audible, and I want to throw a shout out to Diane Gilson, who is a member of our Copywriters Inner Circle and a member of, she's a member of the Jim Edwards Method Premium, a member soon to become Content Marketing Scripts Elite. And she was the one who emailed me and said, hey, Jim, I'd love to listen to your podcast on Audible. Here's the link that tells you how to do it. And I was like, oh, snap. I'd like to listen to my podcast on Audible. I didn't know you could listen to podcasts on Audible. I forwarded it over to Stu.
Yeah.
And within like 2 hours, Stu had us on Audible. So good job, Stu. Good job, Diane.
That was good.
Yeah, that actually is. I'd rather listen to. I mean, I'm so used to listening to audio stuff through my Audible app.
Same.
It's easy. So anyway, that's pretty cool.
So
we got that going for us,
and that is good.
Awesome. All right.
So let's do this. Let's kind of go into the podcast. We got podcast 180 coming up, and it's going to segue pretty nicely into from what we are talking about now and how you can figure out where you need to get started with your content into traffic.
Okay. Well, then we want music. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks Podcast. I'm your host, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Welcome, Stu.
Hello, Jim.
Welcome everybody to episode 180. Today, Stu, what are we talking about for episode 180? I know, but the folks don't know. Let them know.
Yeah. So we are going to discuss content marketing, sales, copywriting, and the using them effectively to drive traffic to your business. But before you do that, I think it's wise to do a business assessment of your website, your communication methods, and just see where your strengths and weaknesses are. Because like I said earlier in the Jim and Stu show, if you're not assessing, you're only guessing.
Okay.
Right? So let's
let's talk about your business for a minute, Stu. What would be the things you are assessing so that you're not guessing?
Yes. I went through my website, my store website primarily, and I was like, you know what? I could do better at organizing my web store sections and titles. So, which gave me a great idea for the content marketing scripts headline genie, to use that today when I go and update some of those things. And then, I'm pretty squared away on the communication with customers. I think I probably get an A+ on that one with newsletters and emails and social media and teaching content, live Q&As, articles, all of that. I'm pretty squared away on that, but I could do better with an offer with each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I get my message out there, but sometimes I lack doing the offer at the end.
Right. So,
which I can get better at doing.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you are in the situation that most creatives are in, that you have no problem creating content. You have no problem generating it. You have no problem sticking to a schedule because you have not only internalized all the frameworks we have inside of Content Marketing Scripts and other stuff, but you also use the tools inside of Content Marketing Scripts to help you do stuff quicker, faster, easier. So the making of it is not tough.
No.
The problem is that most people associate the doing of the creative stuff with getting their work done. And that is not getting your work done. Getting your work done, I'm going to go to the board, Stu. So those of you that are listening to us in audio, imagine me, my big biceps, just like Stu's, because he helps me work out. I'm making so much money now, I'm going to hire Stu to work out for me. So I don't even have to do it anymore. Just playing. So the thing to understand is that there's 3 parts to this whole thing. All right. There's the creation of the content, there's the promotion of the content, and then there's the measuring of the results so that you can keep doing what's working and stop doing what's not working. So most people are like, oh, I created content, I'm awesome, I'll go post it on Facebook, and why am I not rich yet? And so we got tools to help you do this and do this really fast and easy and do a great job. The promotion part is multifaceted. That's a fancy way of saying there's a bunch of different moving parts when it comes to promotion. There's promotion within the content, which means you have a great hook to grab people. Or let me start even before that. With your content means you know exactly who your avatar is, and you've got a focused reason for them to want to pay attention to what you're doing, to this piece of content. It's got a purpose that they're interested in. It's got a great hook. You got great content. But then you also have something that most people forget or leave till the end or do something amazing like, say, click here. Oh, that's the best. All right. Well, it's better than nothing, but you got to have a great call to action. Now, once you've got that, then the promotion becomes, okay, where do I put it? Got to make sure it goes up on Facebook, goes up on your blog, goes on LinkedIn, goes in all the places where your avatar is potentially hanging out. Then you're also making sure that you're building your list so that ultimately you can email it out to your folks. Can you also use it in conjunction with affiliates? Could you also promote the content, pay to promote, pay to play? Give the little red-headed monkey some money so he'll show your stuff to the people who are already following you on Facebook, but he doesn't show it to them because, well, this is a business and he's got bills to pay, right? He's worth 700 billion less than he used to be. So now it's understanding it's not the same as it was 20 years ago, which is basically write an email, send it out to your list, send it to other people, ask them to send it to their list, find people that are posting articles on their websites and ask them if they'll post your article too. That was the whole thing. Now, all these moving parts. Then you got to pay attention to what happened. Where did I get results? Where am I not getting results? What types of posts are people actually paying attention to? How am I getting to, wow, look at this, 69 XXX site, my private photo on this site. Oh my God, I bet you that's not a scam at all.
No.
Wow. Okay,
probably not a virus.
No. I'm sure you can get a couple different types of viruses. One in real life and one in online. Okay. So it's the old thing of keep doing what's working, stop doing what's not working. Okay. So there's this whole feedback loop and understand that's why people have so much, this is why it's hard for people. And I want to point something out. All right. There's 2 things that are going to get you results. I've drawn a graph. All right. Willingness to act consistently on one axis, the up axis, and on the other axis, it's positive results. Okay, so as you get positive results, your willingness to act increases along with that. If you are not getting positive results, guess what you're going to do? Quickly quit. Okay? Yeah. But if you structure your content wrong, if you don't have a great hook, if you don't have decent content and you don't have a call to action, you could be putting it in exactly the right place in front of exactly the right people, and you're going to get a crap result, which means you're not going to be willing to wash, rinse, and repeat and keep going. So it's the old thing of, which came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like looking at the stove. Earl Nightingale said, looking at the stove and say, give me heat and I'll give you some wood. No, what you've got to do is understand that you're going to get geometric results. Because most people think, I'm going to get results and I'll do it. I'll get results and I'll keep doing it. But what actually happens is you get a geometric progression of results. So it's critical that you put yourself into a position where you're actually going to get a decent result for doing something, so that it gives you hope to keep doing more and more and more and more. And the only way you're going to do that is to make the right content, structure it the right way, have a good hook, have a good call to action, put it where people that could potentially take whatever action you want are going to see it, so that you can, and then you need to measure so you can see, okay, I got a result. Let me do this again. Okay, I got another result. Let me do this again. I'm not rich yet, but I am moving in the right direction. But if you put up blog post every day for 2 weeks and nothing happens, you're going to stop blogging. If you do a Facebook Live every day for 2 weeks and nobody responds except your mom's like, keep going, honey, and you're not going to keep going. So you've got to do it right from the beginning and do it in such a way that you'll start seeing some results and it'll encourage you to keep going. This is why most people quit. Most people quit because they do it wrong from the start, or they have too high expectations. Like, I'm going to publish this one article, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to publish this thing on Instagram. Oh, I didn't have 10,000 people like it. I didn't have Kim Kardashian,
Yeah, it didn't go viral.
So, yeah, it didn't go viral. I've never had anything go viral. That pisses me off. My son-in-law is the one in the family with the family record for viral video views. Over 1 million or 2 million views. I mean, all he did was lift a damn car off a lady,
That was impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I'll teach you 5 ways to make your book a bestseller. Come on.
He deserves it.
But what I'm saying is this is where everybody gets jacked up with what you were talking about, saying, there's room for improvement in what you're doing as far as hooks and calls to action. And I'm telling everybody, including myself, has room for improvement.
Oh,
I'll tell you another area where there's room for improvement. Okay? And something where your thing, if you're not assessing, you're just guessing. Links. We've been raised to believe that longer's better. Just leave it at that. I'm starting to see that shorter, more concentrated, get to the point actually performs better than longer. So that's something else that we all need to start getting better at, is getting to the point quicker. I know, yeah. God knows, as I get older, I'm telling old man stories. So, that's important as well. So that was a long-winded way, but you always like to just wind me up.
I do. That's what I do.
But this has been something that's really been weighing on my mind, because if you do it wrong and you get a crap result, you're going to stop. If you do it right and you get a crap result, you're going to stop. So you got to do it right in a way that you start seeing results, so that it gives you the courage, the confidence, and the feedback that enables you to keep going.
Or you're just stubborn and you just keep on going, regardless of result. And it takes you 10 years to figure it out.
Eventually, though.
I will say that was probably my journey. Even, I had high expectations. I wrote that book. I got it published. What? I'm not a millionaire? So, and then, I finally figured out that, there was a source out there of people that needed help, and, you could find them on the internet with making good content and giving them something that was valuable, so much to the point that I've even had people say, "You have given me so many free videos on swimming. I'm just going to become a membership, be a member on your site just to say thanks."
Wow, that's great. That means you're giving away too much free stuff. So, but it's interesting. It's like the guy goes to the doctor. He's like, "God, doctor, man, I've got the worst headache. My head is just killing me, and I can't seem to make it stop. And every day, it hurts." And the doc says, "Okay, well, we can do two things. One, I can give you this medication, and I can give you a prescription for a hockey helmet. Or two, you can stop slamming your head into a wall every day. It's up to you." Eventually, if you keep doing something that's not working, you're either going to stop or you're going to kill yourself. So it's your choice.
Yeah.
So keep don't measure and keep doing stuff the wrong way and keep getting bad results.
Yeah.
Okay?
And eventually you get smarter and you evolve and you figure out doing it the right way, and you evolve with technology, and it is a process for sure. But you are so correct about doing it right the first time.
Doing it the best you can the first time. And being open to evolve and being open to doing stuff different ways. So I think Susan had a comment. Susan, did you have a comment for me, or were you talking to your computer?
I was talking to my computer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks. Okay, cool. So sometimes she makes those motions and it means I'm being an idiot. Other times she's trying to program her computer through the ether. So I'm just always curious to know what's going on. I think that, though, it's a fine line between developing a habit of taking action and being an idiot, banging your head against a wall.
Yeah.
And part of that is the feedback loop of, I've met plenty of people that I'm like, damn, you're good. You got more stick-to-itiveness than I do. I just wish to God you were doing the right thing. Because I've seen people do the wrong thing every day for years. And you'd show them the right thing to do, and it's like the second coming of Jesus. And you just got to tell them, look, I'm proud of you for developing this habit. Now let's put that habit to use doing the right thing. And you don't want to lean on them too hard, because you don't want them looking back and kicking themselves and giving up. It's like, hey, we want to harness this stubbornness in the right direction. And that's why it's so important to measure and also to manage your expectations. Because if your expectations are you're going to do this and you're going to be rich next week, it's not going to happen. People look at us and they're like, oh, you guys are awesome. You got a list. People pay attention to you. You know how to make videos. All this stuff, second nature. Let me tell you what. Every single thing we know how to do right came as a result of doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And the doing something wrong came as a result of just doing something.
And learning something new. And
right. And not quitting for 20 some odd years, And so your 20 years can start today. Don't look back 20 years from now and say, wow, I wish I'd started 20 years ago.
Oh, I can't tell you how many things, Jim, I've said, man, I wish I'd have started this 2 years ago.
Right.
But that's when you're making the right moves. If you can say that, you can kick yourself in the butt for missing that. But at the same time, that's a good assessment of yourself that you are evolving.
Yeah. The only good thing to come out of the Chinese Communist Party is the 5-year plan. Somewhere along the way, I picked up the thought that, 5 years is going to be here 5 years from now, whether I do something or not. And so I might as well get going now.
Yeah.
And 5 years seems to be, if you like life altering, totally different, doesn't happen in a year. It seems to be like a 5-year thing, like fundamental tectonic shifts in your life. Seems to be about 5 years. You can radically transform any area of your life in a year, and you can set yourself on a completely different path in your life in about a week. And you can make the decision to put yourself on a completely different path in an instant. So you can make a decision, and if it's real, set yourself on a different path, create a massive difference in your life, and have a tectonic moving of the continents change in your life in less than 5 years, but can all start making a decision in the moment.
True.
That's some deep stuff right there. I can tell you right now.
No, I like that.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
it's like making the decision that, hey, I'm just not going to be sick and nasty and in bad shape anymore, and deciding to take care of my health and then go for a walk every day. And, then now 5-10 years later, after working with Stu and stuff, I can do stuff that I couldn't do when I was 18 physically. So, but that came as a result of that decision that I made in a taxi coming back from the gym boat in January of 2012, when I was in just terrible shape physically. So
10 years ago. Look at that.
Yeah. Big difference. So, all right. Well, what else do we need to talk about on this podcast? I know you had the stuff we were talking about and I took us in a totally different direction.
No,
I stayed on topic.
Yeah. My big thing was assessing yourself, do an honest assessment of your website, the methods that you use to communicate, and just see where your strengths and weaknesses are. Because, I assessed recently because I thought all of my traffic was coming from social media, or at least over 50% was. And it was 25%. Right. So I was just guessing, right, until I started assessing, which makes me want to change a few things, on the way I structure my titles, my headlines, keywords, all of those things are very important to people finding me.
Yeah, well, don't mess with pages that are already driving you traffic, though.
Oh, no.
As far as changing that might change up, especially
and the cool thing about
SEO stuff.
Yeah, my analytics, it tells me which ones are my top performing pages.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mess with them.
I'm not
if you want to put in a call to action, put it in as a graphic.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say, talking about assessing your business, are you focused? Most people aren't focused. Most people are totally scattered.
Yeah.
Most people are scattered. They're scattered in their thinking. They're scattered in their action. They're scattered in the results. They're flitting from one thing to the next, the next, the next. Everybody's moved on 20 bright, shiny objects from now. And the people who are really making it happen have focused in on the thing and they're making it happen. Okay? Know your avatar. The people who are really making it happen can tell you exactly who their people are, exactly who they're called to serve, exactly who they're supposed to help. Okay. And they know exactly where the people are. And they're putting value in front of those people to build relationships, to get leads, to make sales. That's what they do. This is the non-sexiest thing you can do, but it's the thing that actually gets results. But if you're scattered and moving from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, if you're like our friend here with 69xxx.site, okay, in the comments, they're moving on from one thing to the next to the next. I can tell you this is not you need to think about your life here, son. Okay.
Yeah, this is not a valid promotion
this is terrible targeting. It's a very valid promotion plan, but terrible targeting. This is not your audience here, okay? So there are other lives where this could be an effective promotion strategy. This is the thing. This is where people are messing up. They're not focused. They're scattered. They don't know their avatar, and they have no clue where the people are. They're chasing one thing to the next, the next, the next. And the whole thing of assessing your business, okay, am I focused? Do I know where my people are? Am I consistently putting value in front of them, and am I measuring the results that I'm getting? And if I do have a product, am I promoting the crap out of the product I have? Or am I always thinking about, you remember that Irma Bombeck book from back in the 70s, The Grass is Always Greener Over the Septic Tank? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's always a brighter, shinier object. There's always something out there that could be making us all the money in the world. We're all going to get rich. But at some point, you got to focus on your yard and grow your vegetables and do your thing. Not worry about what the neighbor's doing. And that's really focusing on your business and all this stuff. So anyway, wrap it up for us, Stu. Bring it home.
Yeah, well, I will say this. For me, I think it's very wise to get to know your business. One way I did this was I had my wife, who has no interest in really what I do, right? As far as training,
right?
I mean, she has no interest in working out with me, nothing like that. I mean, if we do anything, it might be a walk somewhere,
right?
But she has no interest in my level of training and who my audience is not her, right? So I put her in front of my computer and just say, scroll through my website and just tell me what to think. Can you find my Army fitness test workout?
Okay.
Right. And so I give her little like hide and seek drills to go through, and like how quickly can she find it? Because if she doesn't understand it, most people won't understand it either when they're first looking at it. Right. So she's my honest assessment tool for my page, and
that makes perfect sense.
It has been very helpful.
That makes perfect sense.
Because I don't get lost on the site because I made it. I know where everything is, right? But that's like, oh, okay, so that's where I need to better headline some of these sections here to make it really be understandable. Maybe some different arrangements. So
I'll tell you, that makes perfect sense, because your wife, if you told her to go look for something, and she at least knows what she's looking for and knows that's there, she can find it, is going to be a good simulator of someone who knows what they're looking for, but yours is the third or fourth website that they look for it on, and they're at work and they're caffeinated and they're, all this, they're distracted, they're on their phone and all this other stuff, where they got to be able to recognize that you have what they're looking for. And again, that's part of the measuring thing, and you can't measure that yourself. I like that a lot.
So
cool.
Assess or just guess.
Nice.
It's up to you.
There you go. Nice work. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. Again, I was your host, and along with my really smart and trusty, ethical and amazing podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Stu, if the folks want to get in shape, where should they go? The gym. If they want to know what they should do at the gym or at home, if there's another pandemic,
they can find me over at StuSmithFitness.com.
That's right. And if you want to learn how to write amazing sales copy, head to copywritingsecrets.com. And if you want the easy push button solution to creating all your content and your copy, head on over to contentmarketingscripts.com. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.